But ultimately, you can take every gun away in America and somebody will use a bomb. When somebody has an intent to do incredible damage, they're going to find a way to do it. In the case of the Jonesboro shooters, we're talking about an 11 and a 12-year-old kid who took high-powered rifles and gunned down their classmates and teachers after they had got them into a schoolyard by setting off a fire alarm where they were trapped in a fenced area and couldn't get back in because the door locked after them. They were sitting ducks. And the question, kept, how can an 11 and a 12-year-old do this? Well, the answer is nobody can understand how that can happen. And so, people will want to pass new laws, but unless you change people's hearts, there I'll transition to maybe to the pastor side. This is a hard issue. It's not something, laws don't change this kind of thing.
Invariably people ask after tragedies like this, how could God let this happen?
Well, it's an interesting thing. We ask why there's violence in our schools, but we've systematically removed God from our schools. Should we be so surprised that schools would become a place of carnage because we've made it a place where we don't want to talk about eternity, life, what responsibility means, accountability, that we're not just going to have to be accountable to the police if they catch us, but one day we stand before a holy God in judgment. If we don't believe that, then we don't fear that. And so I sometimes, when people say, why did God let it happen? God wasn't armed. He didn't go to the school. But God will be there in the form of a lot of people with hugs and with therapy and a whole lot of ways in which I think He will be involved in the aftermath. Maybe we ought to let Him in on the front end and we wouldn't have to call Him to show up when it's all said and done and at the back end.